Welcome to the Encouraging Cup. I'm Dr. Boomer Brown with Doing Good at Work. Today's topic is civility. Civility is this idea that we can have conversations in the public square about key ideas and thoughts. And as we have that conversation, we can respect each other's opinion, and we can talk, and we can listen. And we can listen to an opinion that we may or may not agree with. We can express one that maybe the other person is not agreeing with, but we can do it in a civil way, through civil discourse and conversation. It's one of the hallmarks of this great country, being able to do that. Well, civility is being challenged. I know you're aware of some of the things that have transpired in the last 2 weeks. We're not going to discuss that here, but we are going to discuss the idea of understanding where we are and if there are helpful resources that can help you around this idea of civility. You see, as I pointed out in the writing today, I said that 75% of people see incivility rising in our country. 63% of people polled believe that the harsh political rhetoric on both sides really is fueling an atmosphere of potential violence. 79% see people as less tolerant of opposing views. And 69% believe that the way people see Judeo-Christian values is getting worse. You might say, well, what does that last point have to do with anything? Well, Judeo-Christian values are what this country is founded upon. The Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the many laws that we have are based upon those Judeo-Christian values. When those Judeo-Christian values begin to crumble under the pressure of current culture, then we may be in trouble. And I'm encouraging you to think about this. Think about civility. I'm trying to personally think before I open my mouth, think before I react, think before I say anything. Guard my words. Be mindful of what I'm saying. Make sure that I humble myself. And at the same time, I realize that my opinion could be wrong. At the same time, I'm respectful to the other person. I care about them. I actually want the best for them. It's also important when we're having these kinds of conversations to make sure if there's anything that has upset you about that person, there's anything they've done to you or you've done something to them, that you pre-forgive them before you have conversation. And always approach any conversation with facts, not opinions, not rumors, not secondhand information, but factual information. This week, I don't have a mini book for you to order. You can always look at the mini books and you can order any book that you want to from the topic list. That's always available to you. And it's also available to you that you can have a conversation via email with a mental health first responder. Those two links are in this week's publication. But there's also something in addition to those things in this week's publication. I reference a group called THINQ. THINQ is an organization that curates information, topics and conversation starters, ideas, helping people to think and to ask good questions and to make sure they thought through their opinions and their ideas before they have them in public discourse or they try to have a conversation with someone else. Well, this week's offering from THINQ is very timely. It talks about Let's Talk Civility. There's a link inside the email that you can click on, and it will connect you to THINQ Media. There are 3 videos and a conversation guide, which you can look at the videos, you can download the conversation guide, and this could be something you do individually. Maybe you do it as a family, maybe you do it as a small group, neighbors, friends, whoever it is, wherever you gather, so that you can get some positive information and guidance about how to have conversations around difficult things. How will we behave as society when we have differences of opinion? Will we be or practice civility, or will we behave in a manner that is not civil? It's our choice. So I hope you'll take up the offer, take a look at those items, and I hope they will help you, your family, and your friends as we navigate a place in our world which is a little more volatile today than it has been before. I haven't lost faith. I know who's in charge, and I'm believing that we all can learn from the creator of this universe how we should work together to produce a society where we can live in harmony, even though we may have differences of opinion. Thank you for listening to this week's Cup. And as always, I hope you'll come back next week to the Encouraging Cup.